What's up, guys? Lightning over here, and I'm here with my good friend, and today we're back with the podcast.
What's up, guys? Also, early Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to you guys. Yes.
Because it's literally tomorrow.
We're literally recording this on Christmas Eve.
Because we.
So, Christmas special.
Yes, because we are not smart.
No, we just did not expect every 2 weeks to end up on Christmas
Yeah,
Eve.
we don't think ahead, guys. That's why you also. We don't.
I think that's pretty evident from the last two episodes.
Consider we had no idea what we were doing for this episode until like half an hour ago. Before we started recording, because we do not plan this stuff in advance.
No, we do not. Anyway, so for this episode, we're doing another anime watch along. So the actual reaction will be on the shorts, so we don't get copyrighted. But our review will be so we will cut this audio once we start watching the anime, and then we'll come back. Well, I'll pause it and I'll come back. I'll come back to the recording once we start the review, and we'll do an agree to disagree segment as well, so that this episode isn't too short. Anyway, the anime that we are currently watching now is called Evangelion, and I'm actually excited for this one because I've always wanted to watch.
I hate mech anime,
and
so.
it's only.
It's gonna be.
Oh, I did not know.
Yeah,
that.
I'm only more.
Wait, what about Gurren Lagann?
Okay, that was actually a good mech anime.
Gurren Lagann.
And that was mostly because of Yoko.
Of course it was.
She may have been 14, but I was young too, so.
I'm very excited to watch this. I don't watch a lot of mech animes, but I've always heard good things about this anime. I've always heard like the symbolism was amazing and stuff. So I'm curious. And also, what's the girl's name in the anime? Asuka. I heard she was hot. Yeah.
Oh,
anyway,
she was.
Is it a very old anime?
She got orange hair.
I've never seen it.
We know how you feel about orange hair.
And yes, well, Austin is the best. Anyway. Anyway, this is a very old anime. I did not realize how old this was until I looked it up. It's 1995. This anime is literally older than both of us, apparently.
By 3 years.
So it's still older. So shut up. Wait, no, it's not. 3 years.
Oh, dude, we're 26.
Math.
And this is 29. Did you get your basic math after school?
We don't talk about how old we are here. We don't talk about our age.
Well, they have to know something about us. You know me.
Yes. Yes. Your name is Aaron. Your name's Aaron. My name's Gabriel. That's all they need to know.
Or so they think.
And that my wife is Asuna because she's the best and she's hot.
Yeah, that's controversial. There are a lot of people like Asuna.
Yeah, of course. Well, who wouldn't? And listen, I don't share Asuna.
In my opinion.
I don't share my Wi-Fi.
In my opinion, she's generic. People like
nah. No. Anyway, I'm gonna pause the audio now, and we'll see you once we watch at least 2 episodes, because we're gonna watch at least 2 episodes of the series
my audio?
each time we do the segment. Yep. In 3, 2, 1, we'll see you guys right back. We'll be right back. I messed that up. I don't care. We'll be right back. Okay, guys. Welcome back. We just watched the first 2 episodes of Evangelion. Yep. I'm a little disappointed because I wanted to see my girl Asuka. She did not appear in the first 2 episodes. I don't know when she appears, but I can't wait to watch more because I'm looking forward to her.
She's the only good part with the anime, in my opinion.
Nah. I'm really enjoying this series right now. There's actually a lot of information in the first 2 episodes alone, which is kind of exposition-y. I guess we're going straight into the review, but yeah. The first 2 episodes is kind of exposition-y. There's a lot of information. I'm hoping Shinji gets better as a character. I heard... We'll see. You've never even seen the series, so you can't say anything.
Yes, but I've heard people talk about it.
I've heard people saying he does get better, so I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm saying he stays a bitch boy.
Okay, there's nothing wrong with being a bitch boy. First of all, Shinji, he's kind of generic right now. I'm hoping he gets better. I do like the mech. The mech is cool. Misato's still really hot. I'm pretty sure that's her name. I probably butchered that, but she's still hot. Getting
What
this
would
out of
you
the
rate
way.
this anime?
Well, I'm not waiting the anime because we haven't seen the full anime yet. I'm waiting the first two
I
episodes. The
know,
first,
but what would you rate the first two episodes?
the
We
first
did it
episode.
with the first, yeah, like what would you rate each episode?
I
Because
know.
we
I
did
know.
rate
Hold on.
Legendary Hero
Yeah, I know.
when we only saw that one episode.
What did I rate
So just
Legendary
ask for
Hero? I gave it like a 6.6 or something. Right? I gave Legendary Hero a 6.6.
yeah,
So,
it at least got 60%.
and honestly, the psychological aspect keeps me intrigued. I love the psychology aspect of this series. I love the symbolism and the Christianity symbolism as well. Like there's just so much about this series that is so intriguing for me. So unlike Legendary Hero, I actually want to keep watching this series. Um, and I see why people like the series a lot. I see why it's popular, but I'm giving this first episode. It's not much because I will say the first two episodes are really exposition. Like they have a lot of exposition. It's a lot of information to take in and process in the first two episodes, which is it holds it back. So I'm gonna give this.
I
I'm
feel
gonna give.
like that always
I'm give.
happens in animes where they put too much information instead of
Yeah.
focusing on other stuff that can hold an anime back,
Yep.
which could turn people off.
Yep. So for the first episode, I mean, it's a good first episode. It reels you in with the fight scenes and stuff, but with all the information for the first episode, I'm gonna give it like I don't know 6.9 or 7.2 out of 10. And for the second episode, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It's slightly lower than the first episode, but yeah,
For me,
it's not a bad first two episode, but it's not great.
I'm giving both episodes a 4 out of 10.
Oh wow.
It just, it doesn't pique my interest. I'm more into, there's not enough action. The action that they have didn't really seem interesting to me. I like the fast-paced action like in Dragon Ball. You see just go
Here's the
action
thing.
and
I like the slower burn stuff because it's easier to process and digest. Like you get that stuff, and like
I know, but with the
I
Dragon,
don't want my fight scenes to
but
be.
sometimes fast-paced action is gets you pumped up, especially when there's a good soundtrack to go along with it.
I don't
And
like
it's
fast
just
paced. I don't like the fast paced actions because it's just like, oh, it starts. Oh, the battle's already over. Like no, thank you. Like Fairy
well,
Tail 100.
have you seen Dragon Ball Z Super Goku vs Frieza? That took like 20 episodes.
Yeah, that's a problem with Dragon Ball in the sense that there's a such thing as
Well,
being too
the
slow
thing
and
is,
too fast.
the pacing in the anime, like if you read the manga, the pacing's a lot better, but Toei Animation just really wanted to stretch it out. But like reading the manga is much better with
Here's the thing.
pacing.
Fairy Tail 100 Years Quest, their fight scenes have really been shortened a lot. Like their battles are really quick now. It was never like this. Like their fight scenes used to be like they lasted a good amount and it was never too long or too fast. Like 100 Years Quest really quickens the battle. Dragon Ball is on the other end of the spectrum. They take way too long for their battles.
Well, I mean, with Tournament of Power, which was a full battle royale, that's like a third of the anime is just the Tournament of Power, but it's a huge tournament. So it explains there's going to be lots of battles in that
Okay, but
thing. But I mean, the
tournament
thing
arcs are different
is
though.
that you have to think sometimes with anime, the pacing is because of the studio, and it can be much better than the original source material.
Yeah.
Like,
So
if like the pacing is a lot better in the manga, in my
yeah.
opinion, than in the anime. Toei Animation just stretched it too long. It's probably better pacing in Dragon Ball Z Kai since it takes a long to fill. That is probably
I would say
in
Kai
Toei
might be
Animation.
better because Kai
Well,
cuts out
Kai
all the
just cuts out
filler.
the filler. That's what Kai is. Just gets rid of the filler,
Yeah, so that makes Kai the
which
superior
gets rid
version.
of. But then one of the fillers is called the Other World Tournament, and that is some people some people love the Other World Tournament, even though it's filler,
Yeah. So
which is not in Kai. So I mean, the thing
I
is,
I love I
what
just going back to the review of this. I just love the deeper. I love deep anime and when things are like just not It's just not surface level. There's more to it, and there's like more hidden between the dialogue and the symbolism. And the fact that this anime appears to be more on the psychological stuff that really intrigues me. I There's a reason I love Sword Art Online and Death Note so much. The psychology and Death Parade, the psychology in all of those animes is amazing, and like they just like it's so much more deeper than the dialogue makes it out to be. Yeah. So I would
Yeah,
absolutely watch this again.
I'm not the kind of person that can get into deep stuff. I like just give it to me straight. That's what I prefer. Just I don't like to go into the deeperness of what's going
I
on.
love watching things that make you think. Like if you
Yeah,
have to think
I
about
don't
it, I love that.
I don't need to think more than my brain wants to process, which is
I
just
just
tell me
I'm
it and that's good enough for me.
oh well if a show or a movie is telling you stuff, it's a bad show or movie because you're supposed
I
to
know,
show.
but
It's the biggest cliche in filmmaking is show not tell.
I know, but I just want them to, when they explain it, I want them to at least give a visual aid.
And there's a reason why I
Just,
don't like a
just
lot
do
of
not give
superheroes.
me visual aid with
There's a reason why.
what
There's a
was
reason.
talking about.
Yeah, so there's a reason why I don't like a lot of Marvel and superhero and DC stuff. It's because a lot of those movies and shows they're so surface level, and they only focus more on all this CGI FS. They only focus more on these battles that look good. Which, by the way, this is not going to be part of the agree to disagree segment, but I do have a take on Endgame and Infinity Wars. I think they are absolutely overhyped. They are so mid, especially Endgame is so mid.
Yeah, I know the arts people would disagree with that.
Oh, I know there are tons of people that disagree, but
It's
like
like a hot take more than anything.
it is absolutely a hot take. I understand that, but like it is Endgame is one of those movies where Infinity War is slightly better, but Endgame is one of those movies where it's like it looks good, but once you really look into the story and see the pacing of the movie, it really falls apart.
Yeah,
Like
but I mean, you know, people have different likes. I mean, you know, some people
like
like
I
deeper psychological stuff like you, and some people like, more what I like, surface
like
level.
I
You
I
know,
I tend to like when I watch stuff, I am such an analyst. Like I love analyzing movies and dissecting it because I look at things from a filmmaker's perspective. I love filmmaking, so I look at things from like behind the scenes and just like oh what could the filmmaker mean by this and stuff. So, like I love analyzing movies and shows, and that is part of the reason why I don't watch horror movies anymore. Or why I'm not into horror movies is because I ruin horror movies for myself. I ruin the suspense. I overanalyze those movies to the point where it's not suspenseful for me anymore.
for me, for horror movies, I find sometimes they're too obvious when you know a jump scare is coming, and that's usually what they use to instill fear.
Yeah.
It's just too much. That's why I'm like, I don't watch horror movies because they literally jump scare is literally how they instill fear, and sometimes way too obvious when a jump scare is coming. It's like, oh, jump scare, there it is. But if they would do less jump scares and actually go more towards horror, maybe horror would be better. But I find it's just too jump scary. That's why I'm like, yeah, I'm just not stay with the horror because it's probably gonna be a jump scare. It's probably gonna be easy to tell. But
So yeah.
I watch stuff just for enjoyment. I don't
I
really care
mean,
to analyze it. I just want the enjoyment of what I'm watching.
I watch stuff for enjoyment too, but like I find fun and enjoyment in analyzing that show or movie.
Yeah,
If
I
like
find
just
enjoyment in this thing actually piques my interest. With
like I
this
don't want to
anime just
watch
doesn't.
I don't want to watch something just for the sake of watching something. Like there are shows and movies. I mean, obviously there are shows and movies that I like for the sake of just liking it. They can be shows and movies that are not great from a storytelling perspective, but I will still enjoy them.
What about like holiday movies, like Christmas movies? Do you watch sort of Christmas movies just for enjoyment, like the Home
Oh,
Alone 1 and 2?
absolutely. Like Home Alone 1 and 2. I will absolutely watch those just for the sake of just enjoying those movies because those are
Yeah,
just
because they're
fun movies to watch.
classic classic Christmas movies. No, literally, like every year I have to watch them. I cannot watch.
Well,
I
you don't
can't watch
have
three.
to.
I no. I have to watch them before Christmas. It's something. It's a tradition for me to watch a certain amount of Christmas stuff specific. Both Home Alone 1 and 2, Big Time Rush's Christmas special, How the Grinch Stole Christmas with Jim Carrey. Like, this is stuff that I have a tradition of. I always watch them, always in December before Christmas time. That's a tradition for me that I actually do because some of those classics, and this is like the only
Yeah,
time I find that the best time to watch them is during the Christmas season.
yeah.
But I won't watch 3, 4, 5, or even 6.
Wait, does Big Time Rush have a Christmas special? Oh, they do. They do have a Christmas special. That's right.
What?
It's the one with Snoop Dogg, right? Big Time Rush.
Yes, Big
Yeah.
Time Christmas. I watch it because I have Netflix, which has the
Yeah.
first 2 seasons of Big Time Rush on it.
Okay, what is going on
Um,
with this
yeah, so I
Wi-Fi? What the
watch.
heck?
Alright, so like honestly, this anime just doesn't pique my interest.
Oh, I
It
will absolutely keep
it seems
watching
like a
this,
psychological anime, and I don't like
and I
going into
love that.
psychological stuff. Um,
Anyway, so obviously this anime is on the older side of things.
yeah, I mean from
Yeah,
29 years ago. So,
yeah. So like
yeah,
I don't expect much from the animation just because of that. Like
I also
I
don't
wa
expect
yeah,
people who prefer modern anime to really
yeah.
be interested in this kind of stuff. I
I
mean,
don't know. That
Dragon Ball Z is even older than this, and Dragon Ball in general is 40 years old this year, so
yeah,
obviously Z is obviously older than it's probably 30
yeah. So
years old
like
or something.
I'm not gonna judge or review the animation because obviously like it's 30
Yeah, I
the
mean,
animation is
you
30
have
years
to
old.
understand that
Yeah,
with animation,
yeah.
it's gonna change in years, and you know,
Oh,
honestly, our anime, the animation's
I
not gonna
do
be,
like the art
you
style though.
know,
The art style is nice. It reminds me of like that old school Dragon Ball art style, which is cool.
yeah, like
Um,
the original Dragon
yeah,
Ball, which if you've seen Super and
yeah,
Daima, it's gotten a little more sleeker, but
yeah,
that's only because animation quality improved, and
yeah.
sometimes people don't want to watch the older anime quality. It can also turn a
Um,
person off from anime.
I do like the color
Um,
palette that they use. Like the color palette's interesting. The way they utilize it in the older style, it's and to show like different emotions and stuff. I do like that. So I'm going into analyzing the series again, but yeah.
that's just who
What
you
else?
are. You like to analyze what you watch because
Yeah,
of your
yeah,
interest in filmmaking.
yep. And
You like
then
to analyze.
what else there is? Um, Misato, I think that's her name, right? She's still hot.
Yeah.
Ray's an interesting character. Again, she reminds me of Rem from ReZero, which is really interesting
From what
because
I
as
know,
much
she's a quiet, emotionless girl. She doesn't really show emotions.
yeah. So
She's very
again,
quiet.
a lot of similarities to Rem from ReZero, which I love because I do love ReZero as a series. It's one of those underrated gems. Uh,
That's an isekai.
it is an
Some people
isekai.
think is. Yeah, some people think isekai is.
Yeah.
Yeah, the thing is that there's a lot of isekai coming out like every season that people think the genre is
Yeah.
overdone. I mean, I understand that,
Yeah.
but I just like almost every season I watch an isekai. I mean, even Dragon Ball has isekai moments. Goku when he dies goes to other world, like the first 5 episodes. That's
Yeah.
another world. That's basically isekai.
Does Sword Art Online count as an isekai?
Yes, because
Would it
it
though?
basically
I know
the
because I know
world
that's a
is another.
debate.
Yeah, but basically, the video game world is another world from the real world.
Yeah.
So they're all transported into it.
Yep.
So it would be an isekai. People like I've read so many articles of isekai animes and like Sword Online's always on that
Yeah.
list. Any anime where they go to
Yeah.
another world that's different than the world they're in is basically considered isekai because it's literally what transition
Yeah.
like into another world is basically. isekai's definition. So
What else
the
was I
video
gonna
game world
say?
is different from the real life. So
Oh wow.
it would be, to another word. It kind of was the anime that did popularize the isekai genre.
Yeah, it's so much like I know it's a cliche to say this, but like I remember like so many people at this point say like, oh, Sword Online popularized isekai genre so much that almost all generic isekais have like a carbon copy of what Kirito is. It's like
Yeah,
they
but
look
the
like
thing
Kirito.
is, like, the thing is that
Yeah,
I understand he's an overpowered protagonist, obviously.
Kirito,
Um,
sure.
well, yeah, somebody say he's overpowered because he died and he comes back against Heathcliff with rage, like, you know?
That's more an A1 feeling at portraying what's in the
And
novel, but
also
yeah,
how he's stronger than everyone just because he was a
yeah.
beta tester, you know?
I mean, yeah, okay, well,
But,
there's a debatable, but
like,
yeah.
the thing is that even though there's other overpowered protagonists, it depends on how they're portrayed rather than just the overpoweredness. Like with Rimmer Tempest from that time I Recall Slime,
Yeah.
sure, he's an overpowered protagonist, but he doesn't use his overpoweredness for, like, to show how strong he is. He goes more into diplomatic, kind of, where he's not using my power to overwhelm my people. I want to go more into diplomatic. I find some of the overpowered protagonists are just overpowered for the sake of showing how powerful they are.
There
And,
was
you
what
know,
else was I gonna
he
say?
doesn't do that.
I was gonna say something else, but I don't remember. I just lost my train of thought. I forgot what I was gonna say.
Should we go move on to the agree to disagree? Because we're
Um,
kind of going off track from the review
yeah, we
on
are.
the anime.
All right, we'll
Yeah.
move on to the next segment is agree to disagree, where we have like we wrote down 5 different
Well, I
takes
wrote
that we
down three.
have.
I couldn't think of anything else.
Okay, well, think of 2 more
Me.
while we do this.
Yeah, I'll see if
So,
I can think of anything else. But
so then I'll start it off. So the first take I have. Do you remember Spider-Man: Homecoming, the first Tom Holland
yes, I
Spider-Man movie?
do. Yes.
I consider that to be one of the worst Spider-Man movies I've ever seen. It honestly, it turned me off from Spider-Man for so long. I still haven't watched the second Tom Holland Spider-Man movie because of it. Because of like it was so unbelievably boring. I know this is a hot take, but like it was, it just didn't feel like a typical Spider-Man movie. It just there was so much dialogue. Honestly, when I watched Homecoming, it felt like I'm watching like a Disney Nickelodeon sitcom with Spider-Man in it. That's what it felt like.
I would have to disagree with that. I actually enjoyed Homecoming very much.
I
Um, it's like he
like
just kind of became Spider-Man, so he's kind of naive, and it fits in perfectly with, you know, Spider-Man. He's learning, he's naive, he's a teenager. I just
I mean,
think it fit
I
well
get
with
that I
his
get that Spider-Man's
character.
young. I understand Spider-Man's
Yeah,
young, but like, and I don't have a problem that he's in high school. I just think that they focus so much on the fact that he's in high school. It over that takes over most of the film. Like, nothing about this movie, nothing about the movie was memorable except for that one scene where he's on the Washington Monument and he's trying to, and he's in that other scene where he's pulling the boats together, where he's like holding the
yeah,
boats.
the two sides try to fork together.
Yeah, those are the only scenes I
Yeah.
remember from that movie. I do you remember who the villain was? Because
Yes, it
I
was the
lit
Vulture, played by Michael Keaton, who did play Batman in like the first Batman movies.
yeah, I legitimately did not remember until I saw another podcast I was watching where
The
they mentioned
reason
it.
why I also disagree with this is unlike you, I actually like Marvel and movies. Like, I like the superhero movies, and I mean Spider-Man's based on my childhood.
Yeah, but here's the
So
thing.
that's one
As
reason
much
why
as
I can disagree and actually enjoy it because I'm more, I enjoy movies like superhero movies more than you do. But that's my opinion.
yeah, that's fair, but like here's the thing. As much as I hate superhero movies, Spider-Man is the one superhero I actually tolerate because I grew up with Spider-Man. I grew up with like Tobey Maguire and stuff. I grew up with Spider-Man movies,
Yeah,
so like
and
it's the one superhero movie
that's why a
I.
lot of people. That's why a lot of people liked No Way Home because Tom McGuire and Andrew Garfield reappeared in that one.
Okay, well I do have a take about No Way Home, so We'll get to that later, but
Yeah.
uh, yeah, but no, like I literally don't remember anything about I. The Vulture was an absolutely boring villain. I forgot about him until years later. I'm like, oh, that's right, he was the villain. Like,
I feel like sometimes the Vulture, I feel like he didn't. I feel like they really didn't give us a good showing of him because it was always at nighttime when they
like
kind of showed him.
I'm gonna be honest. I didn't know who
Which
the Vulture was until years later, after
I
finding
knew
out he was a villain.
I knew who the Vulture was when I was. I
Also,
wa- I used to watch like, the very old Spider-Man cartoon,
yeah.
so I knew like who the Vulture was. Cause I
Also,
watched like the
I
old
understand it.
Spider-Man
I understand
like
this is
TV
part of the
shows.
MCU, right? It's part of that connected universe stuff. But like
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
Iron Man and Spider Man movie did nothing for me. I could care less about Iron Man. Honestly, his death in Endgame did not hit me as hard, just because I did not care about Iron Man that much. But yeah, I
Yeah, I
didn't care.
mean,
I didn't care about the whole Iron Boy Junior thing. I don't like that he has like that super mech suit and stuff. Like it's cool and all, but like the fact that he relies so much on Iron Man is weird. Like it felt like he was more of a sidekick than anything else.
yeah, I
I know
mean,
that
there
got
are been
better.
some problems with the movie
I know that that got better
sometimes.
in No Way Home and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I still
no
haven't watched
Amazing
Far From
Spider-Man
Home.
4.
I will say this: this move that Homecoming did have a really good line that I do remember. It's that line where Tony Stark tells Peter Parker, he's like, "If you're nothing without the suit, you shouldn't have it." I'm like, "Oh, that's a good line." I do remember that line, and I remember how good that line was.
Yeah,
I will say that about the movie.
yeah. I mean, he doesn't even try to get the suit back. I mean, he tries to give him the suit back.
I think so. I don't know. Again, I don't remember much about the movie because I just did not care for this movie. I found it so boring, and I lost interest like halfway through.
The thing
Uh,
is, I can't really say anything
so
about
here's the
the
thing.
other two movies because I
Now,
haven't seen them.
do I think this is
Yeah,
the? Do I think it's an absolutely objective bad movie? No. Like Spider-Man 3 and TASM 2, I think those are worse in terms of quality, but I find
Chasm
them
2?
the Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. So I think those are worse in terms of actual quality, because they both do too much, but in terms of enjoyment, I find Spider-Man 3 and TASM 2 to be a lot more enjoyable than Homecoming, just because they're a lot more
Yeah.
fun. There's a lot more Spidey moments on them. Um, I do like Andrew Garfield. Okay, I'm not gonna say yet because that's another one of my takes. But like TASM 2 and Spider-Man 3, or Toby Spider-Man 3,
I
objectively
mean,
yes, they're
there's
not
only
as
one Spider-Man
they're,
movie.
yeah, objectively yes, they're not as great as Homecoming, but I find them to be a lot more enjoyable than Homecoming is.
Yeah, I can see that.
So
I mean, you know, some people say the Spider-Man movie with Tobey Maguire is like the best, but everyone has a favorite Spider-Man actor.
yeah,
Yeah.
who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Honestly, I like Tom Holland. I don't know. This is with Tom Holland. He was actually in high school when he
Yeah,
debuted as Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, they were obviously not
yeah, I know. I
teenagers.
mean, I will say this: I do like Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland's a great
Yeah,
actor. I love Tom Holland.
no. I mean, this is like his dream role.
Yeah.
If he ever played Spider-Man, hero, he wanted to be Spider-Man.
Have you seen the
So, I
movie
mean, he got his
Impossible?
dream.
Have you seen the movie The Impossible?
The Impossible. I think
Yeah.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
It's based on a true story about a tsunami, like a family that survived the tsunami.
Um,
So, first of all,
mm,
first of all,
no.
yeah. First of all, the movie is so good. I highly recommend that movie, The Impossible. And secondly, that movie has Tom Holland in it when he was really young. Like he was an actual child when he was in that movie. And I didn't realize that until years later. I'm like, oh my gosh, that is Tom Holland.
Yeah, sometimes
Yeah,
when they are younger in a movie, you may not recognize them
yeah.
because they
And
obviously have
I remember
aged.
that movie well because I remember in high school we watched that movie in religion class. It was so
You
fun
did?
too. Yeah.
Maybe you did. I don't remember watching that in my religion class.
Well, I know, I know. I was saying I watched that movie in religion class. Like that was one of the
I
most
mean, we
fun
didn't
things
have
we did.
religion together
Yeah.
any years, did we?
Yeah. Anyway,
Yeah, in high school,
all
we
right.
didn't have any religion together, so that's probably why.
Your first agree to disagree take.
Well, me, um, I know this is a hot take, but arguing over what's the best Dragon Ball series, because that's a that's a lot of things that go into that. With the favorite, yeah, like honestly, in my opinion, I would have to say my favorite Dragon Ball anime. Um, honestly, I would have to say Z because Gohan is my favorite character, and they just did more with him in Z. With Dragon Ball, I feel like Z's my favorite because of Gohan, and they did more with him in Z than they did in Super into a superhero. Like they really did him dirty in Super, and obviously GT is non-canon, and he wasn't even in original Dragon Ball, and well, Daima, he's not even in Daima either. So
I feel like I can't really agree to disagree because I haven't seen Daimo yet, and I've only seen part of Super, so I can't really agree to disagree on this one. But like, yeah,
yeah,
I see that.
yeah, I know a lot of people say. I know a lot of
And
people say like Dragon Ball, OG Dragon Ball was better. But I mean, I feel like it has
yeah,
to do kind of with
I think that's
character and like who's your favorite character and when they appeared, kind of thing.
yeah. I also think part of that is also
Yeah, a
nostalgia.
lot of
A lot
people
of
grew
people just
up
have
with
nostalgia for
OG
the
Dragon Ball or Dragon
original.
Ball Z. Like people
Yeah,
were waking up and watching Dragon Ball
I
Z.
do I do hear a lot of people saying that like Super did do Gohan
I
dirty a
mean,
lot
he
because like
literally.
because
It's not until the tournament of
yeah,
power when you really see Gohan actually step up. Like,
yeah. I mean,
he did nothing in Battle of Gods, nothing in Resurrection F, he did nothing in the Future Trunks saga, he did nothing in the Universe 6 tournament. It's not really until like Battle of God, like, Tournament of Power that he actually did
yeah,
something, and he didn't really get redeemed until Superhero with his Beast transformation.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
no. I mean, Daima is interesting because it does like the GT kind of turning into kids, but I think it's better because Toriyama was actually involved with it. It was his last.
Was to- was Toriyama not involved in
He was
Super?
involved in. I don't know if he was involved in the anime, but he was definitely involved in the movies. He was involved in the Battle of Gods movie, Russia, Broly, Superhero, and Daima. I don't know if he was involved in the Super anime.
Yeah,
I heard he was, but I'm not 100% sure if he was involved in the anime or not. But
yeah. I
yeah,
see
but you
that.
have to see that, like some people say Battle of Gods was like the best like Z movie, and I understand that, but he actually had wars in like those kind of stuff. So we have the
Yeah,
person behind like Dragon Ball actually being involved in these, and apparently every time they get him involved in a project, he's more involved than he was in the previous project.
yeah.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so I can't really be like I can't really agree to disagree on that one because again I haven't seen Diamond, I've only seen part of Super, but yeah, it's a good
Hmm.
take. Okay, so my second agree to disagree take, going back to Spider Man, I think Andrew Garfield is by far the most underrated Spider Man out of the three, and honestly, he's probably my favorite out of the three, just because
Hmm.
of that. First of all, Andrew Garfield, phenomenal actor. I do think out of the three, he is the best actor out of the three.
I
Like, they're
agree
all
that
good
he is a
actors,
good
but like he's
actor. I
definitely the best one.
enjoy his Spider-Man
Yeah.
movies. Honestly, I
Yeah.
wish there was an Amazing
Um.
Spider-Man 3, because I would have loved to see him, be
Yeah.
another standalone Spider-Man movie with him. I think the reason they didn't do that was scheduling issues, though, with him.
No, I think it's because TASM 2 just
Yeah, but I
didn't do
also
well.
heard that I think they said
Like.
they had some scheduling issues, like
Yeah.
he was kind of busy with something else and they
Yeah.
couldn't get him to do it, so they kind of just scrapped it.
right? Tobey Maguire, he will always have a special place in my heart. He's
He's
my
the original
childhood. Grew up watching his
Spider-Man, like,
Spider-Man movies.
live-action actor,
Yep,
you know?
yep. Love him. He's a great Spider-Man. Tom Holland, love him too. Only although I've only enjoyed No Way Home, but
Still
love
at
Tom
home.
Holland.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield. Andrew Garfield, though, as much as his Tarzan movies were lackluster compared to the others, he is definitely by far the most underrated
Yeah.
one. He is. I, I I understand the web shooters are, and I know Tom Holland also has the web shooters, but I understand that those are more comic accurate. But I do wish that they kept the organic webs because those are so much
Yeah, I
cooler.
mean, sometimes they want to be more
Yeah,
comic accurate,
yeah,
and so I understand why they did the web shooters, but
yeah,
I mean, it's kind of interesting to see, like, three different Spider-Mans, and they have, like, three different ways they
yep.
make their webs, you know?
I also find Garfield to be the funniest one out of the three. Like he is definitely the creepiest Spider-Man out of the
Yeah, I
three.
hear that. I mean, when you have different actors, like different writers, different directors,
Yeah.
they go for different ways to try and make the movies entertaining. So
Yeah.
obviously,
Plus, his Spider-Man had Emma Stone, and I love Emma Stone. Oh my gosh, Emma Stone in the Spider-Man movies when she like with her hair blonde.
the thing she goes and dies in the
That like
second one.
I shut up. We don't talk about that. That was just rude and disrespect. That was rude and
Well, these things
disrespectful.
happen.
That was still rude and disrespectful. It's still too soon.
I'm just saying, no.
Yeah, but yeah, he does have the
Hmm.
hardest one. He does have the hardest love interest in that one, and also probably the best love interest.
Yeah.
Yeah, although Zendaya is cool too, I guess. But
Her name, I mean, she's. The thing is that, even though she goes by MJ, it's not like Mary Jane Watson. It's not the MJ that she
no,
is,
it's
like,
what is it? It's like Michelle
yeah, and
Jones or
I'm like,
something.
I don't. I mean, I know. I've heard of Gwen Stacy. I've heard of Mary Jane Watson, but I never heard of Michelle
Yeah,
Jones in any Spider-Man context.
it's an interesting change. I don't know why they did that change, but it is an
Because Mary Jane
interesting
Watson
change.
has red hair, so she's Mary Jane Watson, and her not having red hair
Yeah,
just doesn't seem right as well. Because in the comics, she has red hair,
yeah.
like whoever played Mary Jane in the Spider-Man, with Tobey Maguire, she had red hair.
Was was Zendaya the love interest in
No, it
Homecoming,
was
or
the Vulture's
was it someone
daughter
else?
was the love interest. She became
Oh,
the
that's
love
right.
interest in Far From Home.
Yeah, that's another reason why I don't like Homecoming because like it focused so much more on the high school love interest stuff instead of like actual Spider-Man
Yeah,
stuff.
but I mean,
But
trying to
yeah,
get rid of
anyways,
superheroes. If they had a little more Spider-Man, it probably would have been better.
because here's the thing, like with Tobey Maguire, yeah, I mean, in the first movie he was in high school, but we don't see much of that. Like that's barely a focus on in those
Yeah,
movies. And then even in the next movie, he's in like what he has a job and he's in university
yeah,
now,
it's been
so like he's not in high school
like a
for
few
long.
years.
Yeah. And then with Andrew Garfield though, he is in high school in both
Yeah.
those movies.
And
So
well,
I don't.
actually, I think graduated high school in the main Spider-Man 2.
Oh yeah, no,
Yeah,
he did graduate. He did
they had
graduate. Yeah,
basically
that's
the movie
right.
starts at graduation
Yeah,
ceremony from
yeah,
Educational High School. So,
yeah.
yeah, he wasn't, there's no really high school to show there because he graduated.
I do think the problem that both Spider-Man 3 and TASM 2 have, the biggest problem they both have is that they do too much. They try to do way too much in
Yeah.
one movie. With Spider-Man 3, I know Sam Raimi wanted just to focus on
Yeah, but then they
Sandman
added
and I
in
think
Venom.
and Green Goblin.
Yeah,
Right? He wanted it. He wanted the focus to be on Sandman and on
yeah, but
Harry
then they added
Osborn,
Venom into
but
it.
obviously, yeah, Sony wanted to
Yeah.
shoehorn Venom, so I
But,
think
I
that
mean,
was the
he's in
creative
the
differences
Venom
there. And
movies
then
with Tom Hardy. And
yeah,
they portray him as a hero in those movies.
I haven't seen that movie. I heard it was
I've
bad
seen the
though. I
first. I
heard
don't
those
think they
movies
were
are
bad.
bad.
I've seen the first two. He basically Venom is portrayed as a hero,
Yeah.
not a villain.
Hold on. Let me look up the. I'm gonna look up the uh whatever it's called, the IMDb of this. Last Dance is the
Yes, it
newest
came out
one.
October. The first
So
one is just Venom,
six.
and the second one is Venom Let There Be Carnage, which introduces Carnage, Venom's
So the
son.
newest one, the newest one has 6 out of 10. I mean, 6 out of 10 is not. It's
I
not
mean,
good,
well,
but it's not
usually the
bad.
originals are better. You know,
Yeah.
sequels usually never do as good as the
Venom,
original.
Venom 2018. Oh yeah, the first Venom was 6 out of 10, 6.6 out of 10. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's right, better.
yeah.
Let There Be Carnage,
But like,
the second one.
yeah. I don't know. I can't really find it on here. I'm not gonna try and look, but yeah.
Maybe I can find it.
I don't know. Like, so yeah, with Spider-Man 3, they do too much. TASM 2, they do too much. They also do too much, but it's more so they should have focused more on just Electro instead of the Green Goblin thing. Maybe they could have teased Green Goblin for a
I
third movie.
see on
It is an
IMDb, I
interesting.
see 5.9 for the second Venom movie. 10.
Oh, so that one did
Okay.
worse.
Yeah, it's still good enough
Um,
that they want
yeah,
to make a
but
third
yeah,
one. Mhm, that's good.
yeah, but TASM 2, I I think the story with Peter finding more about what happened to his parents. I think that is an interesting storyline, and it is different from the Tobey Maguire
Yeah,
storyline for sure. So I do like that they focus on that, but they just did too much. They had Electro, they had Green Goblin, and they had that dad storyline. They also had the storyline of Gwen Stacy getting to college and going to the
yeah,
UK and stuff.
until, you know, something happened.
Although Spider-Man 3 and TASM 2, they did have some golden moments. They did
Yeah.
some fire one-liners.
Mm.
So, oh, look at little Goblin Junior. Gonna cry?
Mm, okay.
Yeah. All right. What's your second agree to
The
disagree take?
censorship in video games recently.
Oh yes,
Yeah,
that's
I
a good
mean,
one. Like
like,
what?
I know you don't play, like, the Hoyoverse games, but the censorship they
No, I
do in
don't.
those now, now, the thing is, anytime you try to put the camera down and try to get, like, upshot, in those games,
Why would you want to do that?
some people want to look at the girls' asses. There's a lot of female characters.
Okay.
Yeah, when they do
Oh.
this, lots of people get enraged about this. Like, people hate that
Yeah.
Hoyoverse is doing this. I mean, the thing is, it's like some stuff I understand censorship, but some stuff like just doesn't understand why you're censoring this. You know, like
Yeah.
it's like okay, censor this stuff, but like why are you censoring this stuff? It's not like inappropriate or wrong. Especially like if they censor something in an M-rated game. Like it's like an M-rated game. This thing is M-rated. It's supposed to have stuff like this, but they just censor it. And like I don't know why they censor some of the stuff in games where it's not. It can take down the quality of the game. You know, censorship in games. But what would
Yeah. I think that's more of a problem with the studio and just the corporation itself. I don't know much about Hoyoverse, but like I know like certain anime studios like Funimation stuff will do unnecessary censorship. Like that's part of the reason
yeah, but
why
I'm talking about in
people
video
like
games
meme
mostly.
on 4 kids. I know, but like censorship is it's just like it's an all around. It's a problem with in really
Yeah, but
anything.
I think sometimes they just do too much. Like, I understand,
Yeah,
okay, some
I mean,
censorship makes sense, but sometimes they censor too much that it's just not. You don't need to censor or this, and they just sometimes censor too much in stuff that should not be censored, and it actually brings down the quality of both, TV shows, anime, games, that kind of stuff. Mhm. But it's not only censorship, and sometimes they don't have a reason for it. They just censor for, like, they don't give a reason why they're censoring stuff.
yeah, a lot of that problem is just higher ups, the executives in the corporations, just like, oh, let's censor this. There's no reason why, but we should
No,
censor it.
they
You
never
know,
give
it's
a
just
reason
out of
ever.
touch.
It's
It's just out of touch
and sometimes
corporation
there's like
stuff.
no reason they censor for no reason. Like people find that they censor this, but like what's so bad, right? They need to censor it, and they just never give a reason why they censor certain scenes. And it
Yeah.
and I know a lot of people disagree with these decisions. That people are like this.
As they should, because
Yeah,
censorship
and I
sucks,
mean
so
it's
they
like
should
or like
disagree
a
with them.
fan like this can kill your fan base. And especially with
Yep.
games, you need a fan base for your game, especially when they're a gacha game. Because if
Obviously.
you're a fan base,
Oh yeah.
you're not going to be making money off the games.
Nope.
So
It's super weird that corporations who want to make money end
they
up choosing
censor too
options
much
that
and they
they
kill their
that
fan
yeah.
base, and then they're not making any
Yep.
revenue, and then that's what happens. The game gets shut down, the company starts losing money, the company goes for
Yep.
bankruptcy because they're just not making a profit off these things, and they're
Yep.
just like, well, what are we supposed to do? Can't make a profit, so they end up shutting down, and
Uh,
that sucks for people who actually did enjoy their games because they just
yeah.
censored too much.
Yep. I like when companies listen to their
Like
fans. I mean,
actually, the
obviously
thing
they
is,
shouldn't listen to
Universe
the
does listen and they make quality of like adjustments based on like they have
yeah.
surveys like almost every like 2 weeks where they want feedback from their fans, like their players, which is actually what they should, which is what every company should do, have some way to get feedback from the fans to improve the quality of their games. Which Homeoverse actually
Yeah.
does do that, and they make quite of adjustment with versions based on what the fans say.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, a company shouldn't listen to the fans on
Yeah,
everything
some
because,
stuff you have to.
I've,
And some
yeah,
stuff is just right. That could.
yeah, because obviously, if you let fans just
Yeah,
run everything, then
but
that's
fans
just
do make some
chaos.
good points that they should,
Yeah.
you know, follow through on.
Yep. Like another good example of this is like, and I love Game Freak for doing this. Game Freak, I do like Pokemon Sword and Shield. I didn't think it was that bad. They did it had some great things about it. Same with Scarlet and Violet. But I love that they Game Freak listened to the fans when they said, "Oh, we want games to be challenging. They want it to be. They want they want more of this, less of this." And like you can see like in the next games that they came out with, like yeah, the games were challenging. They definitely listened, especially in the
I
more recent
can't,
games now.
hear
So
this because I actually
yeah.
have not played the last one I played was Sun. So
I know, but
yeah,
I'm just saying like that is
yeah.
an example
I
of like
mean,
companies
they're
listening to the
all
fans. Yeah,
Holy Voice does make quality of adjustments, which
yeah,
increase the betterness of the game based on fan suggestions, which is actually good that they listen to their fans, and almost every version has some quality of life adjustment.
yeah. Oh, and another example, like fans have been telling Game Freak, take a break, take a longer time to develop these games. Like don't just rush these games like every 3 years or so, because they have like they usually have a schedule of like, okay, every 3 years or so a new game will come up with a new game, a new gen and stuff. Like no, take as much time. They listened because what happened? They announced a new game this year. Usually a game would come out this year, but we heard nothing, no news, no nothing. They're still developing the game. It's not coming out until probably late next year. So they did listen, and they are taking
Yeah,
more
because
time on
by
games.
taking
So
more
another
time
example.
to
Yeah.
develop a game allows you to polish it, and that increases
Yep.
obviously the quality of the game, and you know, people, it makes the game more fun for the fans of the series, and they're gonna play it.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, so, yeah, censorship is a big problem in games, but there are some companies that do listen to their fans and make
Yeah.
adjustments to that, but I think more companies
Okay.
need to listen to their fans, you know?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good take. That's a good agree. I will absolutely
yeah,
agree with that take right there. Because and as most people should, like censorship is a problem in basically
yeah.
every industry. Anyway, So my third agree to disagree take. I mean, I touched on this a bit earlier. Probably when we would. Are you touching like something in the? I hear something in the
It's probably
background. What are you
squeaking
doing?
in my bed. It's the springs.
Okay, well I can hear that in the
Well,
background, and that's gonna be so annoying when I edit. I'm sorry, but please. I'm fidgeting with something too, and I really need to stop because like when I go to edit, that's really
yeah,
annoying in the background. Like you can, it's
yeah,
super noticeable. Anyway, the my third agree to disagree take. I kind of touched on this early in the review, how I said like I ruin horror movies for myself and like because I always overanalyze it and like it's not suspenseful for
yeah.
me. But honestly, I don't find horror movies to be that good. I haven't seen a horror movie
Yeah,
that's
I
actually
agree with
that
that.
good yet.
Because that's because I find horror movies also rely too much on jump scares
Yeah.
and obviousness of jump
Yeah,
scares. You know,
maybe I just haven't seen enough horror movies. Maybe I haven't seen a good one. I don't know if any of you who are like into horror movies and watch a lot of them, maybe you guys can recommend like a good one. I don't know, but like I've never seen
I
an
also
actual
find that
good
some
horror
horror movies
movie.
go to gory to make the scene scary, but that doesn't always
Yeah,
work.
I I will say this: some of the best horror movies I've seen are horror movies that have really low budget.
Like,
Because a movie with a really low budget forces you to get creative,
like one
and
of the best horror movies I ever heard
that
is The
works
Blair
really
Witch
well.
Project, and that was like a low budget horror
Like
movie, and it's like one of the
like
best.
a yeah, like a low budget movie will force you to get creative. It forces you to use what you have around you in order to make
Yeah,
a good movie. So it forces that creativity because obviously if you have a high
you're
budget
just gonna
movie
do the like
like it's a high
things that
budget, you have a
everyone
lot of
else
money.
does.
Yeah,
The jump scares, the obvious
exactly.
that they're
So like
coming. You know, you just do too much of
yeah,
the tropes that become overused in a horror
yep,
movie. When the bigger budget you have, with
yep.
the lower budget, you have new creative ways of bringing scares into your movies.
Exactly. Like low budget movies works especially well with
Especially
horror
when the
movies. So I think
director
some
is
of
a
the
very
best.
creative person, because they actually
Exactly. Yeah.
can make the horror movie, or just any movie in general, feel different than the other movies in that same vein, I guess. Because they actually bring in
And
new and
then
creative ideas that you have probably never seen before.
yeah. And then a bonus agree to disagree. I will say No Way Home. It's a bit overrated. I like the movie.
Yeah,
It's a
I
very good
like the
movie,
whole bringing in of
but it
like bringing
does.
back the Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire kind of thing.
Yeah, it does play on nostalgia, so that might be
Yeah.
influencing us. But I will say this: No Way Home does nostalgia
Yes.
correctly. That is how you do nostalgia in a movie. You implement it into
Yeah.
the story. That's how you do nostalgia.
Yeah. Like, Tobey Maguire's reuniting with Doctor Octopus. That was a good scene.
Yeah.
Andrew Garfield, after he saves Electro in the movie as well. Like, I think those are some touching scenes
Yeah.
because these are people that they had interaction with in the movie, and now it's
Yep.
like, getting to see them again is nostalgic to how they were when you saw the movies originally and how they interacted in the
Yeah.
original movies, and now how they interact again.
Exactly. And like it's not just cameos for the sake of having cameos. Like, oh look, remember this guy? We're bringing him back. No, like they're actually
Yeah,
important to
and
the
I like how
story.
they use the
Like,
same actors from the original. They don't get new people to try and
yeah.
look similar. They get completely the same people, which also adds to nostalgia. Because a lot of people, it's like, well, these people might not look or sound like what we remember, but because they are, it's
Yeah.
nostalgic, and we like that.
Also, they another important thing, they don't take away from Tom Holland's
Yeah,
spotlight. Like this is still a Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. It's still about his Spider-Man movie. The story still centers around
yes.
him. Like they don't take away the
And I
spotlight from
find
him.
they give a good amount of screen time to Andrew Garfield
Yeah.
and Tom Maguire as well.
I will say that the fight scene between Doctor Strange and Peter Parker, that
Yeah,
I
that
like
was
that a
very
lot. That was a good
interesting
fight
because
scene.
Doctor Strange had those magical powers, and somehow
Yeah.
Peter was able to
Yeah.
outsmart him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
using
something you
math.
wouldn't
So same
think that
so same schools, kids.
you don't
Stay in
think
school,
that
kids.
a high schooler would be able to outsmart a sorcerer, but he does it using just like the math because Spider-Man. Peter Parker's always been like a math guy or like it's like a
I will
science
say
guy.
though, the
I
entire
mean, I mean,
I will say the entire movie is the entire movie is based on the fact that Peter Parker kept messing up the spell, but that's kind of on both of them. Like Peter Parker should have told Doctor Strange, "Okay, I want everyone to forget I was Spider Man
yeah,
except
he
for
should
these
have. He
people.
should have.
They
Okay,
should remember."
like who do I want
Yeah,
to remember Spider-Man, and then tell him, okay, I want everything to remember except these specific people. But he keeps saying, oh, like MJ, oh,
yeah,
I also
and
had,
then
oh, and like my Aunt May, oh, and like Happy Home. Like he kept saying a new name after the spell.
yeah, but also Doctor Strange also has some blame here. Like he
He
should
should
have
have, are you sure?
asked Spider Man,
Are
"Okay,
you sure?
yeah,
Like before he
yeah."
started the spell, like you should have asked,
Like
are you
I feel like
sure? Like this is
the entire
like man.
the entire plot of the movie is it was completely
Yeah,
avoidable.
if
Like
he
that could have
actually
all
thought
been avoidable.
about who he wants to know he's Spider-Man before asking, or if Doctor Strange is there like anyone you want to remember.
Yeah.
If they
Yep.
just had that conversation, then the whole movie would have been avoidable, and you know he wouldn't have to make everyone forget that Peter Parker even exists to fix
Yeah.
everything,
Exactly.
which makes it interesting for
So.
what's gonna happen with Spider-Man 4 since no one remembers who he is.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
there's a fourth movie. So anyway, people, I know people are like debating like, who is this Tom Holland Spider Man's fault that he caused all this?
it's
It
kind
kind of
of both
is. Like
their fault.
I kind of honestly, I kind of don't feel bad for Tom Holland Spider Man because he kind of brought this on
I
himself.
know.
Like at the same time, yes, I do feel bad for his character, but like he
I
kind of
know,
did
but in
bring
the
it on
second movie,
onto himself.
I know you haven't seen it,
Yeah.
but like you at least know who the villain is, right?
Yeah. It's Mysterio, right?
Yeah. The thing is, if he didn't, like, I don't remember his motivation for doing this stuff, but I mean, like, if he didn't do this kind of stuff, it wouldn't have happened. Like, no one
Yeah.
would know that Peter Parker is Spider-Man.
Yeah. Mysterio's
Because
the illusion guy, right? He creates like
yeah,
illusions and
I don't
stuff.
know. I
Yeah.
don't remember his motivation, but I know that he wanted Edith, which was given to Tom Holland by Tony Stark, basically giving him access to all of the Stark Industries technology. Is
I
what he
do
wanted.
like that. I do like that at the MCU Spider-Man has like all these new villains because I do like that about
Yeah,
that. Like
and
it's not just like
like when they make something new,
yeah,
but they don't bring in like
yeah,
the old villains that we've
yeah,
seen in other series. Like we never
yeah,
seen, we never have seen the Vulture or Mysterio. Um,
yeah.
there's really no
I
new
wish
villains in No Way Home.
they did Vulture better because Vulture was just so
I find they
forgettable for
always show
me.
him at like when like they always it's always dark when you see him, and there's
Yeah,
nothing to really like make him easier to see. The best time you
that's
see him is when he lands his vulture thing, but
yeah,
never
that's part of
like
the
when he
reason
fights him.
why he's forgettable because the lighting when he's on screen, the lighting for those scenes are just not
Yeah, like
great. I understand like
that's
he's
when
at
he like
night.
he's actually fighting. Only the light is when he lands his suit and leaves it.
Yeah.
But the fight scenes, it's too dark to
Mysterio
see.
is cool
Well,
though, and
yeah,
I wish Homecoming didn't ruin Tom Holland's Spider Man for me because I would have I guarantee I would have loved Mysterio
yeah,
just from his powers alone.
yeah.
Yeah.
But how he was kind of
Also,
tricking everyone with his illusions.
I will say this about No Way Home. They did Sandman so dirty in that movie. Sandman and the Lizard. I understand that both the actors couldn't do much filming at that time because obviously COVID happened.
Yeah,
But like they did Sandman and the Lizard so dirty in that movie. Like
yeah,
they barely had any walls. And also
yeah,
it doesn't make sense that Sandman would go back to being a villain because at the end of Spider-Man 3, like he's not a villain anymore. Like he had his redemption. So
yeah. But
like he's
maybe,
the only one that didn't die.
yeah. But I feel like maybe it took him. Well, he was
Before the
kind.
red-
Well, it seems like they were all, interested in like getting cured. But And
No,
then
he just wanted
something
to go
comes.
home. He just like which makes sense because that's
Yeah,
true to his
but
character.
because Spider-Man didn't want to send them home, he just wanted
Yeah.
to cure them all. Is kind of why. Like, because if you imagine when Sandman does come, he does help take on Electro.
Yeah, he does help. That's what confuses me. It's like, okay, so this is Sandman after he's been redeemed,
Yeah, and
so
I feel like
he doesn't need to be cured.
I feel like him just wanting to go home, but Tom
Yeah,
Holland not allowing them
yeah,
is why he kind of changed a little. Because like, I want to go home, but you won't let me go home, so I'm gonna force you to make me go
yeah.
home. So that's
And
probably
then the
why he.
lizard, and then for the lizard, like I just feel like that was just so out of. I don't know. They just did the lizard so dirty, like because like he feels so out of character from the first Amazing Spider-Man movie.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, he didn't want to turn him into lizards, kind of.
they just turn him into a straight up like a mindless monster who
Yeah,
just wants to destroy.
yeah.
I do like that Electro got better though. I'm glad Electro got a sort of redemption in that movie though.
Yeah,
Anyway, your next agree to disagree.
this is a really strange one, and I don't really think it
Ooh.
works, but it basically goes with Jim Carrey's retirement.
Oh, he retired.
Well, he said after Sonic 1 he was going to retire, then he came back in Sonic 2, and after that he said he was retire, but then he came back in Sonic 3, and now he said he's going to retire after Sonic 3.
I haven't seen any of those Sonic movies.
Yeah, but he kept saying after all of them he was going to retire,
Yeah.
but he kept coming back.
Well, you can't really retire a legend.
I know, I know, but he says he's going to retire,
Yeah.
but he keeps coming back.
How
After he
old is
says
he
he's
now?
going to
He's
retire.
like he's 60, right, or something? I don't know, 50.
Let me check. Jim Carrey is currently, um, he is currently, uh, he was born in 1962.
I'm not doing that math, by
So,
the way.
I'm trying to, um,
It,
he's 62.
okay, he is
Yeah,
60. I did not know he's older than Hugh Jackman.
yeah. But I mean, yeah, he wants to retire, but I find that if they keep gonna make Sonic movies with Dr. Robotnik, he's gonna have to keep coming back.
No.
I don't know if this is them wanting him back or this is his choice to come back.
I feel like it might be his choice, or it might be a bit of both.
Yeah, I mean, you're bringing Dr. Robotnik into the story again, and you know
Yeah.
he just was really good as Dr. Robotnik. It doesn't seem like to change, you
Yeah.
know.
So what's
So
the agree to disagree version of this? Like what are
yeah,
we
that's
agreeing
why
and
I say it's
disagreeing on?
kind of weird because I don't
Yeah.
know if there's a way to agree
Yeah.
to disagree with it. But
I haven't seen the Sonic movie. I have no intentions of seeing those Sonic movies because I don't know. I still hate anything live action, especially if it's video game. If it's adapted
yeah,
from a video game or anime, like I'm like okay. I mean I heard good things about this movie, which I'm glad it's good, but like
yeah,
I'm still put off by the fact that
yeah.
they're
So I
capitalizing on
mean,
video games and
I feel
anime.
that'd be easier if I focused on the movie, but you haven't seen them, so it's kind of
Yeah,
hard to disagree over the.
yeah,
I guess the agree disagree is based on Jim Carrey's portrayal in the movies and
yeah.
Dr. Robotnik, but you haven't seen the movie, so it's kind of
No,
hard to agree to disagree, but
yeah.
you haven't seen.
Uh,
This kind
I
of
mean,
thing.
Jim Carrey's funny. Well,
Yeah.
Doctor Robotnik is funny. Jim Carrey's funny. Like,
Yeah, and it just seems right. He's a comedy legend.
yeah.
Adds some
Okay.
comedy to Sonic movies.
So my next two agree to disagree. Have you seen Avatar: Last Airbender?
Yeah, the live action or the TV show.
The Nickelodeon version.
I've seen some of it.
Ah, you need to watch the Nickelodeon version. It's so good.
I've already
The
seen some
Nickelodeon
of it.
one, the Nickelodeon one is amazing. It's like it's so mature for a kids show too.
Yeah, I've heard it's
But
good,
yeah,
but I just, I have,
yeah,
I have so much other stuff I don't really have a chance
I
to
know.
watch. With
So
all
I
the
will say
anime
this:
I have and work,
the
I've
the
had to
Netflix
watch
version,
some stuff.
the Netflix version. I've seen it, so I watched the Netflix version with like a few episodes. I watched it with a with some of my other friends.
Mm.
It's so disappointing. It is absolutely disappointing.
I
The
haven't.
Netflix version is worse than the Nickelodeon version. Like the Nickelodeon version was like basically peak masterpiece.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, which is crazy because it's Nickelodeon.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the Netflix
Uh,
version, it's so high on the exposition scale. Like it is dialogue upon dialogue upon dialogue. They
yeah, I
change
find
so
that
much
when
thing.
something is seen as really good, like never remake it.
Yeah,
Like,
obviously not.
I don't know. Have you seen the Mummy movies with Brendan
No,
Fraser? Well, they
I've
are
heard of it, but no.
amazing. And when they did remade it with Tom Cruise, it was so atrociously bad.
There's a remake with Tom Cruise.
Yes, it's called The Mummy. It's atrociously bad. Everyone, it got such
Okay.
bad reviews, and everyone hated it that it killed that movie franchise.
Oh my gosh! Like Netflix really destroyed the live action Avatar
I
version
mean,
because like they changed so much that didn't need to be changed. They took away aspects of characters like that was crucial to them. Like everything good about Katara has been stripped away from, and
yeah,
then
when you
every
have a really good TV show or movie series that has high reviews, you never remake it.
yeah.
It's never going. It's either going to be subpar or atrociously bad.
It is disappointing and boring. Netflix's version is absolutely disappointing and boring. But I will say this: it is slightly better than M Night Shyamalan's version,
So in live
which is not,
action,
yeah, which is not saying a lot
that
because
was that
that
was
is
a
a
bit.
very
I
low
saw
bar.
that. I thought that was bad.
Yeah, that is a very low bar. But
I
so
did not.
that's not praising
I
Netflix.
did not enjoy the last Airbender movie.
Yeah, yeah. Well, no one did.
It was so bad.
Like, so I will say this: Netflix, you are better than M Night Shyamalan's
I
version, but
mean, they
that's not
do
saying
like
a
the
lot.
One Piece Netflix series, though. That is very people think that is very
I
good.
I did hear that's good, but like
The
it's
thing
still a
is,
live action anime.
yeah,
Like,
the thing
come
is,
on.
also with that, I'm like, you make a live action of a very long series.
That is true. I'm like, come on. Like, it's over 1,000 episodes.
I know it's like you're never gonna they're gonna have to conclude with one of the arcs from the manga
Yep.
because the action's gonna get too old and changing is not gonna work right. So you're gonna have to
Yeah.
completely just have a satisfying conclusion arc and do that arc when you finish the Netflix
Yeah.
adaptation because the actors are not gonna survive to follow an anime episode for episode.
Yep. Exactly. Uh, do you have any more agree to disagree?
Unfortunately, no. I can't think
I
of
have
anything else.
one more. So I guess this will be our last one then. I do
Yeah,
have one more. So shipping, right? How people
yeah.
ship characters? Yes. So in
Bulma and
Avatar the
Goku have been shipped. Right for
Oh
time.
gosh. I mean Bulma's hot. She can be shipped in anyone.
I mean, she's not harder than Super.
Yeah. I mean
Because Yama took
she's an
her
old
and
she's an
made her
old lady
harder.
now.
One thing is that she uses Dragon Ball to make she uses Dragon Ball wishes to make herself look young and attractive.
Yeah. Anyway, so for shipping, in terms of Avatar: The Last Airbender, there is a ship called Katang where Katara and Aang ship them together. It's probably the most popular ship. It's it's the two main characters. Um,
Pretty sure they do end up together.
they do end up together. It is
Yeah,
canon. It is
Korra.
canon.
Yeah, because
But I
Korra
will say
had
this, and
swords.
this is a big hot take. Like people will yell at me. Like there are supporters of this ship. People are not gonna like this take. I think Zutara is better than Katang. I like Zuko and Katara's
Yeah, I was
relationship a
trying to
lot
think
more than
who's Zuko again. Anyway, he's the
yeah.
foundation guy. Not for the
Zuko's the
face.
man. We love
Yeah,
Zuko.
yeah.
Zuko and Toph are the best characters in the show. But anyway, I do like Zuko
Combined
and
Earthbender.
Katara. Uh, Earthbenders are great. Listen, Toph is amazing. Anyway, I do
She's
like
a
Zuko.
comedy character. She has
Yeah,
good comedic quips. I know people like her because
absolutely.
she's calming. And she's so
Yeah,
very strong, but she's also good for comedy.
yeah. She's badass and funny.
Yeah,
She's blind, badass, and funny.
yeah. I know. I know people love her.
Anyway, I do like Zuko and Katara much more than Katan. Because here's the thing, it's very rare for me to like ships of two main characters. I know that's common, but like I'm not into that trope.
Remember
Um,
Natsu and Lucy?
Natsu and Lucy. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Nalu. That's another
Oh,
hot take.
who
Like
would you rather
I do
ship it
not.
with? That's the
I
only.
don't. Here's the thing. I don't ship Natsu with anyone. I
What about
do not
Lucy?
ship Natsu with Lucy. Honestly, I only ship her with Natsu just because I think that's the only good
They
guy for her.
kind of, they kind of go for, they kind of push that kind of though.
They
Of
do,
having
but
Nalu.
like
Yeah.
I don't really see Lucy with any other guy. So like Natsu's, I only ship her with Natsu just by default.
Yeah.
But like,
Doesn't make
yeah,
sense.
I'm not huge on Nalu. I really am not. I'm not.
Is there
I
any
know
like anime where you shift the main characters?
other than Kyoto and Asuna, probably not.
Yes. What
um.
about Lloyd and Yor?
Oh yeah, Lloyd, obviously, yeah. So yeah,
Mm,
like again, it's very rare for me to actually ship two main characters together because I'm not into that trope. But like, I think I've always liked the whole. They're not enemies. I mean, I guess they were kind of enemies at the start, but like
yeah.
they were like
I mean,
not
I
rivals.
know he does join them and teaches Aang to firebend.
Yeah, but like Zuko is. I don't know, like Zuko and Katara is like that strained relationship, but they do get closer, and like I just love how the relationship develops. With the amount of screen time we do see them together,
Yeah,
and
but
like
I feel like why she shipped with Aang is because they've spent more time together.
I get that, but here's the thing: it's not that so much. It's not so much that I care about Zuko and Katara together because I really don't. I just
Yeah,
I prefer them together, but like I don't care about that ship. I don't care that they don't end up together at the end of the day. I care about Katang because that was so forced on us. It was really
yeah,
pushed, especially at the beginning of season 2. It was so pushed, like because in season 1 it started off with Aang having a crush on her. It was cute.
yeah.
I'm like, okay, it felt one-sided. We didn't really see Katara's point of view, and we barely saw Katara's point of view
I
on that
still feel like
relationship.
they shouldn't force ships on the viewers. Let
Yeah,
them choose how they want. Like
yeah, it's just like
if they end up at the end at the end, okay, that's there. But don't push it on us from like an early time.
like
Like they
like
already put like
what
obviously they pushed Goku and Chi Chi when Chi Chi made Goku promise to marry her. They already shipped them. Like they shipped them early Dragon Ball. Like they
yeah.
pushed that they were gonna
So
end up together.
there's one episode in season 2, like really way early in season 2, and it's probably my least favorite episode because it honestly feels like filler. It's not a filler episode, but it feels like filler. So here's the thing: Avatar: The Last Airbender, there's one filler episode in the entire series, like one actual filler episode. I didn't mind that episode because when I was first watching it, I knew going into it was filler. So it was, to me, I find it just enjoyable. Like it was just a fun episode. It was just so I didn't mind that filler episode. But the episode in season 2, it's called Cave of Two Lovers.
Hmm.
It was it felt like a filler episode because I just didn't get anything out of it. Like it was not supposed to be a filler episode, but it felt like one because I didn't get anything out of it. The only important thing I got from the episode was at the very end. We
Yeah,
we discover a city being taken over, and that was important for the next episode. That's the
yeah.
only thing important I got from that episode. Other than that, that was the episode that was really starting to push and Katara together, because that's actually they didn't have an on-screen kiss, but they did have like an off-screen kiss in that episode. So like they were really starting to push them together. I'm like, okay, it is getting annoying. And also the song in that episode was annoying. I didn't like that episode as much. That's the only reason why I don't like that episode, because it felt like a filler when it was not supposed to be a filler.
Yeah, I don't like episodes that like nothing really happens. Dragon Ball does a lot of that, but I'm pretty sure that's just because of the
Yeah.
pacing of Funimation. Like Dragon Ball takes a while to get going, like Z, but I'm pretty sure it's more of the animation studio than Akira Toriyama's like writing. Because actually,
Yeah.
if you watch the original Dragon Ball Z, and you see Vegeta, he has red hair because Funimation did not know that Vegeta was supposed to have black hair.
Yeah.
It was
Isn't
the
that why
only.
Bulma had purple hair? Bulma had
Uh,
purple hair before.
yeah, she had purple hair, but it got changed to teal. That's why Trunks has
Yeah.
purple hair. But I mean, like, uh, in Dragon Ball Z, like, they gave Vegeta red hair because that's what they thought he had. It wasn't trying to interview with Kirachama. He asked about the anime. He said that he has black hair, and that's when they changed it.
Yeah.
Because there's no color, right? So they did not know what color his hair was, so they made a choice.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That's the problem with manga is that they usually don't have like if the character does not have a color on the front of the page, they don't know, and they just make
I
it
mean,
color.
they're all colored mangas. I know a lot of manga are black and white, but that's mostly because it's always reprinted and stuff. But like I know the original like mangas are originally colored. Like we do have colored mangas.
Yeah, I know. But like I mean, if you in Dragon Ball Z in the fight against Super Saiyan Goku and Frieza, the few first pages are colored, like fully
Yeah,
in, and then the color starts to fade, obviously. But I feel like they follow more of the black and white manga rather than any colored manga, and that's why they have to make decisions sometimes.
yeah,
Unless it's, like, I find light novels easier because you just describe what the person's like hair color is and what they look like, so it's like much easier to do a light novel since you have a description of the person, the eye color, the hair color, you know what they look like, and
yeah.
like you know,
Exactly.
so I find with night novels it's easier because you know what their hair and eye color is. With mangas, you kind of just have to guess.
Yep. Uh,
I think that was like the only that and Fear Volunteer was like the only times they actually screwed up, like not
yeah,
knowing the actual thing. That's why Trunks has purple hair because it's supposed to be the same color as Mama's hair, but somebody's just teal, and then suddenly he has blue hair in Super, and Mama has blue hair in
yeah.
Super. They change hair colors.
Okay, so I just thought of a new agree to disagree take, just randomly off the top, and I think people are actually gonna like this take more because this one's a bit more popular. But Zuko and Toph are easily the best developed characters in Avatar. They are easily the best developed. Well, more so Zuko, because Toph is not really that developed, but she is definitely up there
Isn't
from.
it because of Zuko's redemption?
Absolutely, Zuko's redemption is some of the
I mean,
best
when you do
best
redemption
writing.
off and you do it right, it's very
Yeah,
good character development. Like Vegeta's redemption arc is very well done in Dragon Ball.
absolutely.
Yeah? But
Yep.
when you do redemption arc, if you do it right, it shows a lot of character development and really it makes people actually like this character a lot more
Yeah.
because you did them right. And like in last time you said Backo, his redemption arc was not good.
Yeah, and it still isn't.
Yeah.
Anyway, Bakugo, listen up, because that is Zuko is how you do a good redemption. Okay, Bakugo.
Zuko
and
and Vegeta, those are like the examples you need to look at
well,
redemption
like
arc.
here's the
Don't
thing:
you
in
remember?
Avatar, in Avatar: The Last Airbender, the good version, Nickelodeon's version,
Mm-hmm.
like the story is not just Aang's story; it is Zuko's story as well. Because you can see throughout the whole series, Aang and Zuko are parallels to each other. They're like they are taking this journey together in like different in different ways, but like it they are complete parallels, absolutely, and I love
Yeah.
it. And it bothers me that Bakugo sucks as a character and his redemption sucks because Horikoshi, My Hero Academia's mangaka,
Mm-hmm.
he does have a good character with with a good redemption. It's Endeavor. Endeavor does have a good redemption. Um, obviously, like Endeavor, he's more of a piece of shit than Bakugo. Bakugo, like his biggest crime is that he's an asshole and he's a bully.
Yeah.
And unlike Endeavor, who he's an abuser. He abuses his family.
Yeah.
But like with Endeavor, you don't. It's not forced like Bakugo is. Like Endeavor isn't constantly shoved with his redemption. Like we can choose to forgive him or not. Like he's you can see he's really like especially later on he's really trying to atone and make up to his family, whether it's him being a part of that family or not. But like Endeavor is Horikoshi's redemption at best, and
It's also it's
Bakugo is
also
Horikoshi.
like when you
Yeah,
build up someone like Bakugo so much, and then you wait so long to do his redemption, it kind of like you kind of need to like if you're in redemption, you need to either start it early with the character, or if you're
Yeah.
not, just don't get the redemption at all because it's not
Yeah.
gonna go well. Like
And here's the
like
thing.
because when
Bakugo
his
had
redemption
all the time.
started like Namek, he started
Like
redemption after his death.
yeah, Bakugo had all the time he needed. He is one of the lead characters. He's one of the main characters. So like Horikoshi
He
could
just
have developed and fleshed him out more.
and he
Like
just never
he like
did until like the end.
no no, it's not that. He constantly pushed it. He constantly tried to push
Yeah, because
Deku,
he didn't
and I
try
think
sooner to redeem him.
I think the problem is also the fans. I think we all know there's a certain section of My Hero fandom in the My Hero fandom that's a bit crazy. I'm just saying we know that a certain section of that fandom is not all there.
Yeah,
So I feel like
there's always people
Horikoshi
in
was
every
pressured.
fandom with that. Yeah,
Yep,
there's
I feel like
always there's always the people who pressure the
yeah,
manga creator.
I feel like Horikoshi was pressured into doing more with Deku and Bakugo, and it just felt forced.
Some
And
people ship
because
them.
Bakugo is so annoying, and Bakugo was just like Deku should have never forgiven Bakugo. Like I'm glad eventually he did later on, but like it just didn't feel satisfying because of how forced it was.
People ship that going back and
Yeah. Yep.
Something
Which, by the way, guys, Bakugo and Deku are not canon. They're clearly just friends. Like
it's
it's
the
not even a
fan
matter of
shipping.
it's not even a matter of being homophobic or not. Like there's not
I know
nothing
it's just
homophobic about.
no, they don't seem they're on friendly terms,
Like
but people just love
guys,
to ship people.
this is for that section of the My Hero fandom. That
Yeah,
particular section, right?
yeah,
It, actually watch the show, guys, because please, you can see the amount of infatuation that Deku and Ochako have for each other. Like those
yeah.
two have
That's a
an
huge
actual crush.
ship. I know people love shipping them together.
Here's the thing, I don't really care for that ship either, but like at least that one makes more sense to do than Deku and Bakugo.
Yeah, they kind of show it. Like,
They do show it exactly,
yeah,
yeah. And
like
here's the thing, I do think,
people like just love to fan ship things.
yeah, I know, and like like fanship is one thing, head cannonships are one thing. You can have your head cannons, but like it, you can take it a bit too far.
Yeah, like some people like go on rants about how they should have ended up with this
Yeah,
person, not the person they actually did.
yeah. I will say this. I like Uraraka's character. I think Ochaka's a good character, especially later on. But I do
Mhm.
think her character is entirely held back because of her ship with Deku. Her ship
Yeah,
with Deku does hold her back a lot, and
yeah,
I mean, it gives Deku character development, but it really hinders Ochako's own
yeah.
development
If
as a
you're gonna give
character.
some of that, if you have to kind of balance between both of them, to both give them both,
Yeah.
you know, character development and not have someone hold back. I know some manga creators do that when they do a ship. One character gets held back sometimes,
Yep.
and sometimes they have deadlines to meet. So sometimes they just don't have enough time to do both, so they kind of have to focus on one.
Yep. Anyway, and I think that should be everything. Like we did two good segments today.
Yeah, yeah.
I like that today,
There were some
and
really
it's
good
actually
agree
we
to disagrees.
yep.
In this. So
And
yeah,
it's a longer episode. We had a much longer episode this time. It's actually
yeah,
this is
almost
our
an hour and
longest
a
episode
half.
so far. Yep, it's a good
So
one. It's gonna be a
yes,
pain for me to edit. This is gonna be a pain for me to edit, but that's fine.
you like editing.
Uh, yes, not really the podcast because it's just a lot of
I mean,
work to do this with the
you
podcast.
more
But yeah,
like directing and recording than actually
yeah,
editing, but you have a better editing software than I
yeah,
do, so that's why we go with
yep,
you editing rather than me.
yep. Uh, so we'll guys see you guys later in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Obviously New Year's
Maybe
and Christmas are coming
January?
up.
If we do it the same, it'd be like, what, New Year's
Yeah.
Eve?
So you know
Works
what?
for me.
I'm gonna do a dad joke. See you guys next year.
See you guys.
Yeah, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. Have a
Yeah.
good one, you guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye bye. And